There's an unspoken rule in movies. Characters live in their world and we live in ours. But every now and then, a film tears that wall down, looks us dead in the eye, and makes us part of the story. These are the greatest fourth wall breaks in movie history, the moments that weren't just clever, they were genius. Let's break the wall. Segment 1, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, the blueprint for cool. John Hughes gave us teen rebellion with Ferris Bueller's Day Off. But what made Ferris truly iconic wasn't his confidence. It was his conversation with the audience. Ferris addresses us directly from the start, breaking the fourth wall to narrate, joke, and plot in real time. It's not occasional, it's constant. Whether he's giving us life lessons or narrating his schemes, he makes us his accomplices. One of the most famous examples is the post-credit scene where he reappears, stares right at the camera and says, "You're still here? It's over. Go home." Ferris isn't just a character. He's our guide, our narrator, and our best friend for 90 minutes. His fourth wall breaks aren't just funny. They're the reason we root for him. Fun fact, the film's use of the fourth wall was so ahead of its time, it influenced everything from Deadpool to modern sitcoms like Fleabag. Segment 2, Deadpool, the master of meta. Deadpool didn't just break the fourth wall, he obliterated it. In fact, his entire character depends on it. From the first trailer to the end credits, Deadpool talks to the audience constantly. He jokes about the film's budget, the X-Men timelines, and even the studio's casting decisions. In Deadpool 2, he literally time travels to kill his past self in X-Men Origins, Wolverine, and then murders Ryan Reynolds for agreeing to do Green Lantern. Deadpool turns us into the sidekick. The running commentary turns the audience into part of the chaos. It's self-aware, savage, and completely genius. Why it works. Deadpool weaponizes the fourth wall for comedy, critique, and chaos. It's a running gag that never gets old because it's always evolving. Segment 3, The Wolf of Wall Street, selling us the dream. Martin Scorsese's The Wolf of Wall Street turns greed into a spectacle, and Jordan Belfort brings us along for the ride. Jordan frequently breaks the fourth wall to explain scams, justify his actions, or simply gloat. What makes it unique is that we don't always realize we're being charmed into complicity. He turns to the camera and says things like, "Was this legal? Absolutely not, but we were making more money than we knew what to do with." It's almost like he's teaching a masterclass in corruption, and we're the students. The fourth wall break is part of the con. Why it works. By involving the audience, the film makes us feel powerful, until we realize we're cheering for the villain. Segment 4, Spaceballs, watching themselves. In Spaceballs, Mel Brooks turned fourth wall, breaking into full-blown metafiction. The characters literally watch their own movie to figure out what happens next. The villains pop in a VHS copy of Spaceballs, the movie, to see where the heroes are hiding. They fast-forward through the movie while commenting on it, until they're watching the current moment. That leads to one of the best exchanges in parody film history. "What the hell am I looking at?" "You're looking at now, sir. Everything that happens now is happening now." It's so dumb it's brilliant. It mocks the very concept of storytelling while totally committing to the joke. Why it works. It's not just breaking the fourth wall, it's annihilating it for comedic effect. Classic Mel Brooks. Segment 5, Fight Club, You Are Not the Viewer. Fight Club weaponizes the fourth wall. Tyler Durden isn't just a character, he becomes the film's narrator, editor, and manipulator. He explains the illusion of cinema by pointing out the cigarette burns that tell the projectionist when to change reels. Before we even meet Tyler, he flashes into scenes subliminally, frames lasting less than a second. Later, he breaks the fourth wall fully, saying things like, "You are not your job. You are not how much money you have in the bank." The movie doesn't just break the fourth wall, it uses it to expose the viewer. It forces you to question who's in control, the characters or you. Why it works. The viewer becomes part of the psychological manipulation, blurring fiction and reality. Segment 6, Annie Hall, pulling experts out of nowhere. In Annie Hall, Woody Allen breaks the fourth wall to make a point about pretentiousness, and does it with a legendary twist. Alan complains directly to the camera about a man pontificating behind him. To prove his point, he pulls real-life media theorist Marshall McLuhan into frame from behind a movie poster. McLuhan delivers the punchline, "You know nothing of my work." It's surreal, weirdly satisfying, and totally meta. Alan doesn't just break the fourth wall, he brings real life into the fiction to win an argument. Why it works. It uses the audience's frustration and delivers catharsis. With a twist. Segment 7, The Lego Movie, the twist that changes everything. The Lego Movie sets you up for a fun animated adventure and then pulls off one of the most emotional fourth wall breaks ever. Everything Emmett goes through, the battles, the resistance, the prophecy, is actually a story being imagined by a child. The film cuts to live action, revealing Will Ferrell as the boy's controlling father, enforcing order over creativity. Emmett's journey becomes a metaphor for the child's desire to be free, to be heard. The twist doesn't just break the fourth wall, it redefines the story's purpose. Suddenly, it's about the real world, about parents, children, and the power of imagination. Why it works. It transforms a fun, animated movie into a heartfelt reflection on creativity and pulls the viewer emotionally into the story. From Deadpool's chaos to Emmett's heart, these fourth wall breaks didn't just talk to us, they made us part of the story. Which one blew your mind or made you laugh the hardest? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if this video felt like I was talking directly to you, that's because I am. Hit that like button, subscribe for more movie deep dives, and don't forget to smash the notification bell. Right now is now.